Wham! All right, we're going, baby.
Wow.
Wow, what schwammo? Everybody turned it off by now. All right. Hey, what's up, everyone? Wake up! It's time for Blade Runner.
Time to wake up because that movie long.
Yeah, that movie long. That movie boring. That movie suck. Where's Optimus Prime?
Good thing it's only making $5.
$5 at the America box office. Thank God. I bet the Chinese people are going to watch this movie because it's fucking stupid. They only watch stupid movies like War for the Planet of the Apes and Edge of Tomorrow. Stupid shit. Dumb assholes. I only say that because those are two movies that they saved from being box office failures.
What movies?
War for the Planet of the Apes and Edge of Tomorrow.
Oh.
Those movies are successful now because of China.
Was Pacific Rim?
Oh yeah, Pacific Rim's the other one. Yeah, no, it was a failure here. That's another one, and we're getting a sequel because of them. So y'all motherfuckers always talk about how China screws like films over because Transformers do well over there, but think about all the ones they saved.
Yeah, because I remember Pacific Rim wasn't that great here, but
yeah, no, I didn't.
Thank
do well.
God.
Grown Ups 2 did better.
that we'll talk about that at the very end though.
All right, well, Grown Ups 2.
Yeah.
Let's do a spoiler discussion for Grown Ups 2. You won't believe how fat Kevin James is. He's fucking so fat.
All right, I did take notes of the trailers that were on though.
Okay, so. I didn't because I didn't. I don't have no reason. I just didn't want to do it.
I got
that's
them.
white privilege for you. I don't even do a goddamn thing.
All right.
All right, people.
So, because we both watched this a couple days ago, we're not going to be as descriptive because usually when we do these, it's like right when we get out of the movie, we'll just go at it.
Yeah. So this one's a couple days. I saw it on Friday. You saw it on Thursday, right?
No, I saw it Friday.
Oh, you saw it Friday?
So what happened? Yeah. So what happened is I used the Movie Pass thing, right?
Yeah.
And it said 7 o'clock on it. So I hit 7 o'clock, and then when I went to the what do you call it, box office?
Yeah.
The only 7 o'clock showing was the XD version of it. But it let me click that one though on the Movie Pass. So when I went up there, it declined the card, and I could have just in theory just went for a different showtime.
Yeah.
But
I didn't.
But I don't know why I always go like right in between my two jobs, so I couldn't wait around too long.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, I'll just click sold out and just come back after work. But for whatever reason, whenever I clicked sold out, it just kept saying there was an error trying to do that, I guess.
Okay. That's weird.
Yeah,
I never had that problem.
Yeah, and then because now MoviePass blew the fuck up, now their customer support's fucking the hardest thing to fucking talk to.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I put a ticket up for the support and they just have not gotten back to me at all. I put that in like as that happened too on Thursday.
Yeah.
They still haven't replied back to me.
But I have a family member that ordered a card and used my email because they don't have an email. They used one of my emails. I have a couple because I'm shady. But
Slim.
Yeah, I'm slim shady. Yeah, there's no slim about me. But they had to use my email because they didn't have one, and they ordered it a month ago. I just got the email today that they sent it out.
Oh yeah, there's a huge.
Oh yeah, I know. Oh yeah, I know. There's a huge one. They had what, almost 500,000 people order cards.
I didn't even know I didn't know what the number was, but I know like
I thought I heard that. Well, they only had a couple, like maybe a couple tens of thousands people that were using it at first. I was one of the OGs.
Well, yeah, no, I think when did it happen? Because I know it started because I remember we found out about it right away.
Yeah.
But that was how much it was cheap before. Then it got super expensive.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it did. It got really expensive. It was like it was $25 at first, and it would be maybe a little bit. It would be like $30 in some areas, but over here it was $25, and then it went up to $35, and then it went up to $50, and then they were doing a thing. If you are a new member, it would be $100. So obviously they weren't doing well. Like they kept raising the price. Me, I was an original member, so I kept paying $35. 25 and then 35. It didn't go up any higher than that.
Are you now a discount or is it still 25?
Oh yeah, no, it's the same price everywhere now. Everywhere. There's no $25 one. There's no $35. It's all $10.
So it brought you down to $10.
Yeah, it's just $10. I used to pay $35, and that's just $10.
That's a better deal.
That's a way better deal. That's a better deal.
If
They used to have the best deal they had, and it wasn't really a deal. You'd be able to see, I think, 3 movies for $15, which I guess isn't too bad if your ticket price is like $11, $12 each. So that's
about where I'd expect maybe like. No, I'd say maybe like the average user might be like at 2 movies a month. I think 2 or 3 maybe.
Yeah. Well, that's what you used to watch. Did you watch like 7 movies in the last month?
Oh, this month? Hold on.
Well, not this month, but last month, the last 30 days.
Before I had it?
Before you had, you would see what, 2 or 3 movies?
Maybe because I would just go on discount days, which is every Tuesday. It's like $5. They discount the tickets and the food.
Mm-hmm.
I was go on Tuesday, and then I'd have to be kind of picky with what I watch because I don't want to just like rewatch a movie if I'm gonna watch something else.
Mm-hmm.
But this last month, it's the 7th.
Yeah.
Or the 8th today.
Yeah, it's 8th.
I got it a month ago actually. So my first movie was on the 9th, and that was it. And then 9/11.
Wait, what movie?
It.
What?
It 9/9.
Sorry, everybody makes that joke. I just wanted.
And then 9/11, Logan Lucky, Spider-Man, Hitman's Bodyguard, Kingsman, Mother, Stronger, Kingsman, Wind River, American Made, Battle of Texas, Kingsman.
You know what?
And then
can I just
American
say?
Made. No, not American. What was it? Blade Runner. Sorry, what?
Okay. Well, I just want to say one thing. I wish you got it a couple days later, so your first movie would have been 9/11. That would have been beautiful.
It should have been It twice, actually, because I watched It twice. But
watch what? What movie? What are you talking about?
I didn't know you could. I didn't know they added the ability to rewatch movies.
I didn't know either. They never told me.
Yeah, so I went and just bought I bought a full ticket for that.
All right.
Whatever.
I didn't fucking know. I would have. For some reason, my red box. Okay, my movie pass was letting me like pick the I guess what you were doing, what was happening with you, where it was letting you pick the RPX. Is that what it's called?
Was it Regal has RPX and
Regal's
Cinemark
RPX.
has XD.
XD. Okay, it was allowing me to pick the RPX and the IMAX showings for some reason. And last time I did that, I actually did that for what was that? I think it was Fate of the Furious, where they had the XD, not XD, but RPX, and I did that and it allowed me to. I just had to pay the difference because MoviePass just puts up a certain amount.
Yeah, it loads your card with whatever the exact amount of that is, but it just declined it straight out, so it didn't even like pay off the full. I would have paid the rest of it, whatever.
Yeah. But
save me the hassle.
That's the weird thing though, is that like MoviePass doesn't just give you the amount you need. At least for me, I went to go see Blade Runner in IMAX, and it paid for $15 on my ticket.
Like, yeah, I don't understand because there was someone on the MoviePass subreddit that accidentally bought a small popcorn for like $1.50 with it.
That's weird.
Yeah, I guess it loads it up with like a little bit extra, but I don't understand with the.
But yeah, no, that's what I did. My mom wanted to go see the Mountain Between Us movie, so she went to go see that, and I went to go see Blade Runner, and I paid for the ticket. We used the MoviePass for Mountain Between Us.
Was she waiting like an hour for you?
No, she saw it like an hour after mine already started.
Okay,
she got the tickets and she went and did something. It was a mall, so she had plenty to do.
Okay.
No, she just sat there and waited for me.
That's
what you get.
A long movie.
No.
Anyway, go ahead.
Well, Mountain Between is like a little over 2 hours also, so it's not that big of a wait. So, but yeah, no, we used the MoviePass for Mountain Between Us, and it like took off $15, so it paid for like 13 or so for the Mountain Between Us, and I got a couple dollars off Blade Runner, and I used a free movie, so because you get the rewards things, and I got that ticket for cheap.
Speaking of,
I got that ticket for cheap, baby.
I didn't know that. I've only known that at Cinemark, they have the Cine mode on your phone, which you turn it on, you get 5 points if you just don't turn your phone on during the movie.
Right.
And I thought that was the only way you can get points aside from like the concession stuff. But I haven't been saving points at all. But apparently, when you order a ticket at the box office, you scan your phone, and it gives you 10 points there.
Right.
So I've missed out like on 120 points.
Oh shit.
And now I'm upset because I would have got that fucking Blade Runner fidget spinner.
Oh yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw it. It looks like the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
I know. That's why you want it.
Yeah.
That's the dumbest looking thing I've ever seen.
Fidget spinner with Blade Runner 2049 written on it.
Oh my god! I bet Philip K. Dick is rolling in his grave right now.
Um,
that's where his shit went.
there's like some really big stuff on there, so I imagine at this point.
I kind of wanted the Statesman whiskey thing, right? Wasn't it? Was it whiskey?
There were a few things. There was a Statesman, whiskey rocks.
Yeah.
There was a shot glass, and they had the cowboy hat.
Oh, okay.
I never see these on. I'm gonna look on eBay eventually and see if they have it, because I'd love that hat to have somewhere.
Yeah.
And side note, because we're gonna talk about Blade Runner in a second, promise.
Yeah.
It's funny. I'll segue this actually. So, it's funny because I brought friends in to watch Kingsman, because I just forced them to watch the first one. I was like, just watch the second one. You guys like it, but just watch the first one. And surprisingly enough, they like the second one more. I think back to back.
Okay. Fucking.
I think.
Your friends are retarded. I agree.
No, the way I see it is because I don't consider, right? I never like thought of Kingsman 1 as being a James Bond spoof.
It kind of is though. Like
no, it is. But like I didn't at all. That didn't cross my mind at all. I think that's why you appreciated it more.
Right.
Whereas I saw it as a fun kind of spy.
Oh, it could be either one.
Yeah, but because I never seen James Bond. I don't associate it with it all.
Right.
So like that, it had no. So when it got goofy in the second one, it got goofy, but like that wasn't a thing at all to me. So that's why I think that's why I appreciate it. But still, like the reason why the critiques still say the same. Like on my list right now, it's still number 6.
Is it ahead of Blade Runner?
Yes.
Oh man.
We'll talk about that in a second. But
ahead of Blade Runner and War for the Planet of the Apes. All right.
I mean, War for the Planet.
I love Kingsman.
War for the Planet of the Apes is definitely the wild card, because once I see all that stuff, we'll see where that goes. But no, like I get the critiques still say the same. Like every time I watch that movie, it's still Channing Tatum needs to be in this movie more.
Yeah.
Jeff Bridges needs to be in this movie more. And
I was okay with Jeff Bridges being in as much as he was.
Well, the problem is I hate when people get credited for something when they're barely in it.
Right.
Just because like. Especially when Pedro Pascal wasn't like.
Yeah, Pedro Pascal's not on the poster, and he's like the.
No, it's funny because I was talking to my ex-girlfriend, because she's all into like these kind of like fun, kind of like the kind of the silly kind of movies like this, and she's a big fan of Pedro Pascal, and she's like adamant like against Kingsman, because she was like, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
Because he's probably the biggest new installment in the movie, right?
Yeah.
And he has nothing in it.
Well, to be fair, I mean, he's not that big of a star.
No, he's not. He's not a big star, but I feel like you gotta give
people don't know his name really.
No, but I mean that's what helps him, right? Like.
Yeah, sure, but
because I mean, you can watch a movie and you're not gonna see his name ever.
I'm surprised. Like, I mean, the thing that really annoys me more about that movie is that when you look at the poster, the first name is Colin Firth, and he doesn't show up until about an hour into the fucking movie. Well, he doesn't show up in full Colin Firth mode in about an hour into the movie.
And that was also a thing, because the pacing in that movie is so weird. Like, whenever I see it, like, this is kind of the same in the first one too. I got to watch the first one again, but like. We're like halfway through the movie, and that's when you're getting your first dosage of Harry,
right?
And it feels like at that point, like this movie had a lot, and they just cut a lot. They cut in between a lot of spaces.
They had an hour and 20 minutes cut out.
Yeah, so I'm really curious. I'm gonna watch that director's cut whenever that comes out, because I'm sure that because they said that they were thinking about just re-editing the movie, right?
Yeah, that's what Matthew Vaughn said, the director. He said. He's not throwing away the possibility of a re-edit or like a director's cut or whatever.
Right. So I'm really curious. I'm sure the Blu-ray will have a director's cut, but I'm not sure how much it is. But like, I don't know. Like going into it, it was battle between that and Dunkirk for that 5 spot, because I really like Kingsman.
I like it too.
I don't know. I'm arguably I gotta watch the first one again because it's been a minute, but I don't know where I stand with how they all are, but I really enjoyed it. But man, like there's just the criticisms are still the same, and I can't shake them every time I watch that.
It's just like the idea that we're about 15 minutes in this video.
Yeah, right.
Still talking about Kingsman.
But here's my segue. So yeah,
Blade Runner 2049 sucked.
No, I brought friends to watch that, and I forced them to watch Kingsman, and I ended up bringing my sister and my nephew in to watch Blade Runner. Thank God, because that movie needs everyone it can get to watch that movie.
Yeah.
But I want to talk about this for a second. So we're kind of we've been having discussions on and off on the Facebook chats about why it's not doing so well. What do you think the reason is?
Well, the first movie wasn't. I mean, it has a cult following, but the movie didn't do well when it first came out. Like it barely made its budget back, and back then, I mean, the marketing wasn't such a big thing, so it was a bomb, but it wasn't a complete failure. Because now, like a movie could cost 30 million to make, but have $150 million marketing budget, which I'm sure it had, like
Right.
the movie it, because that was such a huge thing. I mean, it didn't cost much to make, but then when it comes to marketing, you see that everywhere, trailers everywhere and billboards and whatnot. Back then, $30 million movie probably cost a couple million to market. It still failed, but it wasn't a huge failure. But people loved it. Well, at the time, people were a little iffy on it because they had the shitty voiceover cut with the terrible Harrison Ford narration over it. And
yeah, see, I watched the final cuts and none of that.
I mean, it's still a good movie for the time, even with the narration.
Oh, it's still it's still a good movie.
Yeah, but
that movie's still yeah, go ahead. I'll talk about this after.
So the reason why I think this just didn't do well is because, I mean, the first movie wasn't a huge thing, and people saw this and were confused by it. Every time I saw the trailer in the theater, usually I have audiences that are a little, they react to things. Like, you can hear them go, "Oh, that looks good." Every time I saw a Blade Runner trailer, which it was quite a few times, I heard nobody say anything. Like, nobody was reacting to the trailer, and I just feel like not many people knew what to expect, especially since I think a lot of people, mainly the mainstream crowd, I guess, just never saw Blade Runner. They probably heard of it, but they never saw it.
Yeah, so that's exactly where I think at least the major fault is at.
Mm-hmm.
I think the trailer editing and the marketing for this movie have been totally off.
Yeah, the trailers made it seem like it was more of an action movie.
The trailers made it seem like an action movie.
Which I get it. That's trying to bring people in, because if they showed it just a whole 2-minute trailer, just Ryan Gosling staring, then it wouldn't be it wouldn't sell people.
I mean, I don't know, man. Someone would be totally fine with that.
Yeah, well, I mean, only God Forgives didn't do so well. So, and that's an entire movie of Ryan Gosling staring at things. So,
that's fair. So, I had never seen Blade Runner at all. I had no idea what Blade Runner was. I literally thought it was.
There you go.
Huh?
There you go. No, I was just saying.
No. I mean, it's general. Yeah, like all I thought. Whenever people said Blade Runner, I thought it was a flashy action movie back in the day.
It's like RoboCop.
Yeah, I had no idea. And then when I watched it, it holds up. Like, I think it holds up, but it's definitely one of those movies that you need to watch multiple times in like the right mindset.
Yeah.
Because I watched about 3/4 of it, and I think I got the gist of it, and I wasn't really feeling it to watch the rest of it.
How far did you get? What was the last scene you saw?
The finger breaking scene.
Oh, well, you're almost done.
Okay, so
that's like 15 minutes left.
Oh, okay, because then the credits are long. Because when I looked at the bar at the bottom, it was set a while ago. I was like,
all right, wait, the finger break. That's when he's Roy Batty's chasing him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
there's like 15 minutes left.
Oh, okay, because the bar at the bottom, because I ended up watching, you know what, the bar at the bottom whenever you have video playing? Yeah, it had a super, it felt like it had 30 minutes left. I was like,
Maybe that, I don't think that scene's that long. Yeah, I don't know, maybe.
It could be, but either way, I'll watch it again. Like, I'm sure it's one of the movies that's going to grow on me, because it's one of those movies that it's hard to swallow, because it's very dense. It's got a lot of thematic, it's got a lot of themes to it that, you really need to kind of evaluate, right? Yeah, and that's the same thing with 2049. Like that, the fact that it relates so well, it does such a phenomenal job of bringing a sequel out 35 years later.
35 years.
And it follows up perfectly. It brings the world up to date in the way you'd think it would be. Mm-hmm. It ages the movie up, but it keeps those themes, but just flips the perspective.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, when you watch the trailers, that's not what you get.
When
you watch the trailers, you see a really gorgeous looking movie, which, I mean, it's like something like we saw from Valerian. It looks cool. Yeah, but I couldn't tell you still, when I watch those trailers, because, I mean, I wasn't even going to watch Blade Runner until, everyone started talking about, oh, this is a really good movie. I was like, all right, I'll watch it. Because, I mean, now I have Movie Pass. I don't have an excuse to, unless I really don't want to.
Yeah.
So I watched it, and yeah, it's one of those movies that you need to sit down. You're gonna compact yourself for 2 hours and like 45 minutes, and it's gonna be one of those movies that is dense.
I mean, I like after seeing the movie, I love those trailers because those trailers didn't tell you shit.
See, now
I love that. They said there's a mystery, and then Harrison Ford's character Rick Deckard shows up. He's like, "You're a cop. I had your job," and that's it. Like that's all you get.
That's a trailer. See, that trailer is good for the fans of the original.
Yeah.
Because you know what's going on, right? But the problem is that we take this, and I saw a good example of this. It's Zoolander 2, right?
Oh, fuck.
It's a cult film.
Yeah.
But it didn't do that well because just because it's a cult film doesn't mean everyone's gonna watch another one.
It's kind of like Anchorman 2 too.
Right.
I mean, it did well in the box office, but people don't talk about that movie. No one quotes that movie anymore. Everybody quotes the original still. I still see I'm a glass case of emotion memes and gifs. Like no one quotes that second one.
But people, I feel like just because it's a cult classic doesn't mean people are gonna watch it. Especially
exactly.
I mean, a movie, especially like not even comedy. Comedy might get a little bit more of a leeway because I mean. If you're gonna watch comedy, it's like whatever. You don't need to see the first one.
You don't need to see the first one. Yeah.
This one, it's interesting, and we'll talk. I'm gonna make a note about that too because I want to talk about how you can, if you can watch it after watching the original, or if you don't watch it. You just don't know. Like, I still like I appreciate that though. Like Hollywood has this weird dilemma though, where the people who make the trailers are just in this weird limbo of they show too much or they show too little. I think they show too little with Blade Runner for at least the widespread audience. Because, one, do they say Blade Runner at all in the movie?
They say in the beginning crawl. You know?
But that's not.
It's not crawl, but you know what I mean. It just says.
Which also, by the way, that text was really cool, by the way.
Yeah, I like that too because they don't call it Blade Runner 2049 in it. I don't know why I thought that was cool. It just says Blade Runner, and then it says the year is 2049.
Yeah, but they don't say.
They don't call him. Well, they call him.
No, but they don't say that at all in the movie at all.
No, so they refer to him as like a cop most of the time.
Right. So like it's, I don't know. Like there's so many weird things with this movie where at least the marketing where it's like I would not have get that, and I feel like you guys should have understood that was too little. And but I've seen the people that have watched the movie that were fans of the original that were like super awesome about that. They're like good that didn't spoil anything. It was a fucking good trailer because I have to worry about like, oh, that's gonna happen. In fact,
there's a thing in the first 10 minutes that I'm like, oh shit, they didn't even say that in the trailer.
Right.
Which we'll get to in a second, but.
Right. Well, yeah, we're talking. This is gonna be a pretty long video actually. Now that we talk about it, we kind of freeform talk. Oh fuck! I just lost my point right when you said that.
Oh well. There's a Blade Runner. There's a 2049. They fight.
No, the trailers.
They kiss. It wasn't weird when Ryan Gosling and Harrison Ford kissed in the movie. I thought it was weird.
Oh, that's what it was.
Oh, there you go.
Oh no, you actually understand. What's that fucking movie again? What's the water one?
Oh, Waterworld.
The Christmas movie.
The water Christmas movie.
The Oscar one that you told me is gonna have limited release.
Shape of Water.
Yeah. I watched that trailer. And do you ever do this where?
Yeah, I saw the trailer too, and they spoil something where I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me if that's what.
So, we'll talk about it right now.
Yeah,
so
okay.
I hate when you do this because I've been thinking about that a lot more about trailers over spoiling it.
Yeah.
And I hate. Do you ever do this where you think about something and your mind just remembers something like? I've watched every other trailer, and I can't remember anything specific from them.
Right, okay.
But for whatever reason, because I had it in my mind, now that one detail just sticks with me, and I can't forget it.
Which one?
There's a part where you see someone in the hallway.
Yeah, Michael Shannon's character. Yeah, he's dead. I know he dies because he's bleeding. So now I know. I'm sorry, people, if you're looking for a Shape of Water, but the fucking trailer shows him like bleeding and going on his knees. So I can only assume he fucking gets either killed or seriously hurt. I don't think so.
Yeah. But no, I don't understand that. Like
he was either Michael Shannon or one of the other characters. But either way, I haven't seen that trailer in a little while. But that trailer is so good. And then they have to show down. I'm like, what the? And that's only in the Red Band trailer, I think. So it
was one in the theater.
Oh, it was in theater?
Yep. Because like I said, for no reason in my head, I was just kind of watching a trailer. And I was thinking in my head at the exact same moment, I was like, I hate when trailers spoil things. You just remember that. And then I saw that moment. I was like, well, I'm just gonna remember that now.
I said that in my reaction to the trailer too. I was like, what? Like, why did they show that?
I could never do one of those trailer analysis or those. You know how people do those?
Yeah.
I can never do that because that would just ruin all the movies for me.
Yeah, I don't watch those.
It's the same thing like the fucking Fate of the Furious, where you saw the final shot. The final shot of the whatever. Yeah,
that was a little different though.
No, but I mean, like, I hate when they fucking throw in something Endgame in there. Like,
right? Yeah.
I feel like you have a fucking
Kingsman
hour and a half to work off of, and and it's funny because like I know they need trailer editors. I know like that's been a thing. I know someone I worked with at because I work in education. One of the people I work with was talking about how I like to do some stuff. I got to take screenwriting and stuff. And she's telling me how her son edits trailers and that they are apparently like kind of hurting for people like that. But
I would love to edit a trailer.
Oh, I think I would fucking edit a baller trailer and I would not be a fucking bitch.
I mean, I know it would be really tough because you don't just have the movie footage. Obviously, you have every piece of footage to scramble through and try to make sense of the story, or like not tell the entire story, of course. But
I'm curious,
give you
do they watch the movie?
Yeah, well, no, you have to. I mean, look at Kingsman. They have footage of the movie that's not in the movie, so they have to look at every piece of footage that is available. And I don't even think all the footage is already done, too. So they have to look at, like, if there's, like, special effects that aren't finished. And not that they have to finish it themselves, but they have to look at it and go, like, should this shot be in here before it's even finished? Not that, you know,
right.
you know what I mean? Like, it's before it even looks good.
Yeah, because Kingsman, our favorite line is not in the movie.
Yeah.
And,
fuck yeah.
That bugs me, too, because I still see that in the trailer. And Cinemark has a... you know how they always like advertise their fucking like snacks and everything?
Yeah.
The opening trailer for a lot of the movies at Cinemark is a Kingsman promo.
Right.
And they have actually saying lines they said in the movie but differently.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they have different takes, I guess.
Yeah, so like it was a line. It's when they're first meeting Channing Tatum, we're from the Kingsman Taylor shop in London. Maybe you've heard of us, the way he says it.
Yeah, the way he says it.
Or the lasso line. I've seen the movie 3 times at this point, and I can see what's different. Mm-hmm. But like, yeah, like all those lines are different. So
well, yeah, like the lasso line's different because he says whatever, but it's like a different shot. Like it's
he says he pauses, and goes whatever, but then this it's kind of like an ongoing quick, and it's a different shot.
Yeah, like there's things like that. Like, but you have to take all this footage. You can have hours and hours of footage.
I get that, but man, I feel like I can edit a better trailer. I mean, these people have a way to make flashy trailers, which is the thing Hollywood wants. But man, I feel like I get that backlash more and more these days of just stop showing the fucking full movie, dude.
Yeah.
But Blade Runner fucking nailed it in at least that aspect.
Yeah.
But but to be fair, it is a hard concept to edit. You know, like this is a movie about replicants and like a war between like. What's real, what isn't, and what's like what is human.
What is human?
But you wouldn't think that when you fucking see it. No. First off, the name Blade Runner.
Yeah, it has nothing to do.
It's the most anime sounding fucking name that you would think it's a fucking like action movie.
Well, Blade Runner has almost like the words blade and runner have nothing to do with their job is. Like
no, I feel like it was just someone that
it sounds like someone that has to.
It sounds like Jackie Chan was fucking killing things.
Yeah, it sounds like you ever see that movie Premium Rush?
No.
You never did? It's Joseph Gordon-Levitt on a bike, and he has to really get somewhere really quick on there. That sounds like a nickname for someone that has a bike, and his specialty is he could deliver shit really quickly, but then the law catch on to him. He has to run. He is the Blade Runner. Or some shit.
I like how you just got progressively.
What, more retarded sounding?
Whoa.
Well, who cares? No one's listening to this. And
I feel like someone just whenever making that movie, just like, all right, what sounds cool? Blade Runner. All right.
Yeah, I can't remember if it's because Philip K. Dick wrote the original story that's semi based on Blade Runner, like the character Rick Deckard is in the original. Right. I never read it, but it's called What Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep? I think it's called. But I think Blade Runner was a thing in there, so they might have had to have just taken the Blade Runner name and put it in the movie, and they had no other idea of what to name it, and they can't name it Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep because people be like, what the hell is this? So they had to have a nice fancy little title. So Blade Runner was, that's fancy, that's nice, that's interesting. Like, what is a Blade Runner? I didn't even know. And then they never say those two words ever in the movie. Actually, I think Harrison Ford refers to himself in the original as a Blade Runner. But,
he does.
Well, in the narration, I think. I'm a Blade Runner by trade.
He said that, yeah, I know this. He says that at some point.
Does he? Okay. In the narration, I know he does, because he's just like, I'm here eating my noodles. Oh, now this Chinese man shows up and tells me I have to get back. I'm a Blade Runner, by the way. I don't.
All right. So So now, how long are we?
2 hours. It's fine. No, 30 minutes.
All right. So
whatever.
All right. So let's talk about the movie.
All right.
And then we'll talk about some more. I think I want to talk about watching this versus like having seen the original and stuff like that.
All right. Well, it sucked. Let's talk about American Assassin though. Yo, Dylan O'Brien, hot. Teen Wolf would bang. But no. Blade Runner 2049. I thought it was incredible. The only problem I had with it is that I saw it in IMAX, so it was really loud and really, really, really beautiful looking. The screen was great. The movie itself is gorgeous. The cinematography is excellent. Roger Deakins needs to win for everything. He's been nominated like 10 times. He's never won though.
Was Valerian this year?
Yeah, fuck that movie.
That's gonna be a battle.
No, hell no. Valerian better not. No, Valerian's a cartoony looking dumb bullshit.
Is it? I thought it got good reviews for being.
No, Valerian sucked. No,
visuals?
No, it didn't. It didn't suck visually. It just sucked generally. Like at that point, you might as well just nominate Transformers.
Okay, because all I heard was that I know the movie actually itself sucked, but I heard the visuals were really good.
The Academy always takes a movie that doesn't just have beautiful visuals. They take a movie that takes the visuals and builds upon the story with the visuals and the special effects. Like Ex Machina won that year over stupid ass I don't know, Transformers movies. I don't know if that was nominated, but I think a Marvel movie was nominated and stuff like that. And last year Jungle Book won because it built the entire world and all these characters and stuff. The only thing that wasn't CG was the kid.
Right. Really quick, did you see the trailer for Annihilation?
Yeah, I did. That looks good.
Good trailer.
Yeah, it was a solid trailer, and I'm excited for that because Ex Machina was great.
Right.
I almost bought that in 4K, but I saw that like 3 times. I don't feel like I need to see it again right now. So I bought John Wick on 4K. That's my 3rd copy of John Wick, by the way. Just want to let everybody know that.
I went to Best Buy today.
Yeah.
I'm going to go get a points card because I got Stardew Valley.
Oh, yeah.
I saw that Kingsman thing, the one that you bought the other day.
Yeah.
And then I saw that Best Buy also have a new Steelbox.
Steelbook?
Steelbook, yeah, Steelbook of Kingsman.
Yeah, I have that one too. It's just a regular Steelbox.
Yeah.
Steel case, whatever.
Yeah, but man, there's so many fucking copies of that.
Yeah, I have 4 copies of Kingsman. I have the regular 2D. Well, it was never in 3D, but you know what I mean. Regular as Blu-ray. Then I got the premium edition Blu-ray. Then I got the 4K, and then I got the Steelbook. That Steelbook you're talking about, I already got that.
Right.
I got that shit, baby. You know I did.
Anyway, Blade Runner is super fucking stunning.
Yeah, no, Blade Runner 2049. I was really excited for this, but ever since they announced like a year and a half ago or 2 years ago that I don't know how to say his name. I think it's Denis Villeneuve. Denis Villeneuve. I don't know. I think that's how you say it. I don't think it's definitely not Dennis, so I'm not gonna say that. And I think it's Denis Villeneuve. So anyway, when I heard he was directing it, and after stuff like Sicario and Prisoners and Enemy, have you ever seen Enemy?
No.
It's so good. And well, it wasn't out at the time, but when Arrival came out, that was
how old is Enemy?
I think 2014, maybe 2013. It's a little old. It's one of his first movies. His first movies were like foreign movies because I think he's Spanish. But
I think some of the foreign directors are some of the best directors.
Oh yeah.
Like it's insane.
Yeah, but he's he has yet to make a bad movie. So when I heard they got him, and then they got the original writer of Blade Runner to write the script and stuff, and they got Harrison Ford back. And after Star Wars, like he actually gave a shit again about acting because there was a long. Wait, yeah, go ahead.
Villeneuve.
Nouveau.
Yeah, something like that.
Nouveau.
Anyway.
But
Uwe Boll.
yeah, they should got Uwe Boll. That would have been great. Blood Rain shows up out of nowhere. But oh my God, I'm sorry.
It was
I just thought
movie.
about that. But no, when I heard he was gonna do it, I was like, hell yeah, man! This is shaping up to be a great movie, a great follow up, and it was. It was 3 hours long almost, but it went by real quick.
See, okay, that I disagree with that.
I think it went by super quick.
I was feeling it, but I also like that's the hard part about me going into movies after work sometimes.
Yeah.
Where especially with a movie like Blade Runner, where it is a slow crawl at the beginning and then it starts to ramp up towards. I'd say it ramps up when
they meet Deckard.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is which I timed it, by the way. That's an hour and 40 minutes into the movie, so you only get an hour of Harrison Ford if you were really.
I tried to sell my sister and my nephew off it, right? I was like, oh yeah, I showed them a trailer. They're like, oh, that looks cool. I was like, yeah, who's did Ryan Gosling and Harrison Ford?
Yeah.
Ryan Harrison Ford probably showed up. I just heard my sister go, finally.
Finally. You know what? That's the thing, man. Everybody gets upset when, like, the same thing happened in the last episode, Star Wars, episode 7. He didn't show up until an hour into the movie there, too.
Oh, really? I
yeah.
thought he was just fucking part of the goddamn movie. All
no,
right.
He was. After that movie's 2 hours long, so after that hour, he's a part of it completely. Like he's there.
Again.
But he's a character. Well, yeah, but he's a character that we've seen before, and just the same thing like here. So when we see him again, I'm like, oh, there he is again. If this was just like a new character, then I'd be like, oh, come on, really? Last hour of the movie, and now we get introduced to Harrison Ford's character. But he's he's an old character, so he's a returning character. So when he showed up, I was like, yay! I clapped. Yeah.
I'm sure your theater whole clapped. Yeah.
No one did. There was only like 10 people in my theater, but which sucks. I saw it in IMAX though.
But yeah, no. So like that movie had a slow crawl at the beginning, which I appreciate. But man, like at least I had no idea what I was getting into. So like that was a hard. It was a hard.
Wait.
It was super slow for me.
I thought the first, like a lot of people say, like the first 30 minutes, an hour of the movie is a little slow. I love the first 30 minutes, an hour, because I get to see this character Kay. He's shit on all the time by his fellow officers because he's a replicant. That's the one thing. That, by the way, this is spoilers, because that's a spoiler. Yeah. That is a straight up spoiler, because they don't tell you that in any of the trailers, and that's the first 5 minutes it tells you that he's a replicant. I'm like, God, I didn't even know. I should have figured, because in the trailer he gets smashed against the wall by freaking Batista, but I don't know. That could have been the ending. He could have just died there. I don't know. But
no, like, yeah, no, no, go ahead.
No, I just found the first hour really interesting. I love the entire movie, but some people have been saying like it's so boring. It doesn't pick up until like over an hour into the movie. I'm like, I don't know. I found that first hour really engaging. And then it got even better.
I might go watch it again. Maybe just watch it on a day. I'm gonna probably watch it again next week on a day off that I don't have to get too tired on.
So yeah, 5 hours to spare.
Yeah. But yeah, like that beginning part was like, and I'm okay with like development and stuff like that. I appreciate all that.
Yeah.
It was maybe just a little bit too slow. I feel like could have cut around the corners a little bit.
Yeah, I mean I could see that, but
that was probably my second biggest issue with the movie was pacing in the beginning half. But it does have a good payoff, so that's why I didn't really pay too much mind to it. I do like the contrast between the movies.
Mm-hmm. Like the beginning of this movie starts off like desert. The beginning of the first movie is like this big, like flashy, futuristic, silly, like lights everywhere and all these nice looking miniatures and stuff, because they use like miniatures to.
The coolest thing is that we start off with that and we know what the flashy stuff is here.
Yeah.
But the coolest thing about it is that shot that we get when we're going into the city.
Yeah.
How once you get above the city, it looks like garbage.
Yeah. No, that's the same thing for Blade Runner. Like even above, like it's flashy and stuff. You can see smog. You can see it's just dark and shitty looking.
Yeah.
And then when you get on floor
inside,
level, when people are walking, you're like, wow, this looks even shittier. This looks horrible. I don't want to be here. And I like the contrast between like the nice futuristic looking signs and stuff where it's like all 3D models and stuff walking around. There's a ballerina and it's just like garbage and paper, like newspaper. I guess they still sell newspapers, because I just see newspapers flying around and shit and just garbage everywhere.
Right.
Like it looked it looked horrible.
That Atari logo though.
Yeah, the Atari logo. One thing I want to say
good.
though, yeah, that was cool. But one thing I want to say though that really annoyed me is movies made by Sony. And
there's Sony everything.
There's Sony everything. There's a Sony a futuristic jukebox that
I kind of appreciate that in a sense.
I don't.
Just because I hate when movies go out of their way to hide a brand.
But Sony does it all the time is the problem.
Yeah, but Sony overdoes it.
Sony does it all the time. Like those Adam Sandler movies, that's all they are. They're made just to promote their Sony.
What was the one? What was the movie that's promoting the Kinect?
Paranormal Activity 4.
Yeah, maybe we can see this with the Kinect.
That was bad. Yeah. The Kinect's the only good thing is that it could track demons. Oh, okay. I mean, to be fair, I bet it could do that. I mean,
I do like
that thing was made by Satan itself too. So
there's a video actually on YouTube of a Kinect catching a ghost apparently.
Yeah, okay. It was a clip from the movie probably.
If that was a really shitty clip.
Yeah.
Well. No, I like the contrast you get with Deckard and Kay.
Yeah.
Where Deckard, he's always just kind of like bombarded with like crazy visuals and like everything's all on his face, and he's the real life, right?
Yeah, it's like 20 minutes of the first movie is him just staring at the city.
Isn't that actually debated? No, I guess is it debated that he's a replicant?
Oh yeah, that's been well, since 2007, that's been a 10-year debate. Because 2007 was when the final cut came out, and that's when they added, I'm sure you saw that unicorn scene where he's just like kind of drifting away and he sees the unicorn. You saw that, right?
Right.
At the end of the movie, you didn't see this, but I'll tell you anyway. Is that all right?
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay. You know Gaff, the guy that makes the little origami characters? He shows up in this movie older. He makes a unicorn origami. And he places it in front of his apartment. I won't tell you what else happens, but he sees that.
Just tell me, you're fine.
Well, no, it's okay. Him and Rachel, the replicant that he falls in love with, they leave because he knows that they're gonna come and kill Rachel. So they leave to go start their own life. And before he leaves, he sees that on the ground. He steps on it and he sees it. And in the original cut, there was no unicorn shot earlier. So it was just like Gaff saying like, hey, I know that Rachel is with you, but I'm not going to come after you. So I know, but I'm not going to come after you. But because they put that unicorn scene, it makes it seem like maybe Gaff knows about his dream that he had. So maybe that means Gaff is a replicant, and so is Deckard. Because I guess replicants can like go into people's dreams. I guess that was already set up. I didn't know that, but that's why people were like, "Oh, he's a replicant," because how would he know about the unicorn dream he had? But it was just Ridley Scott adding some shit that I think it was from another movie he made. Like the unicorn shot was just from another movie he made, and he just added it to the final cut.
Okay.
It was never in the original. It's just him like dozing off, and then he starts searching through the pictures again.
Right. Yeah. So, yeah. That's so. Anyways, but so let's just say he is a human. I mean,
I think he's a human, but in this movie they still tease that he might be a replicant, which I'm like, oh my fuck.
You want to talk about that in a second?
No, we can get to it later.
Okay. Well, I'll write it down because I think that's a topic we should talk about.
Yeah, we should.
But so like let's say he's a human. I like how his contrast versus Kay being in this world that's super desolate and super monotone.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, definitely. Like, Deckard has all this nice stuff in his house, though. To be fair,
right?
He's got the stupid ass Elton John shit going on, where like when he shows up, it's all colorful and stuff.
That was a great scene.
Yeah, that was a great scene. That was really good.
I will say, so one, I fucking love the hologram.
Oh, the girl?
Yeah, she
I loved her too.
Killed it.
All right,
she killed it.
One thing I will say though. When I heard she was cast, I was a little worried because she was in a movie that I hate called Knock Knock.
Oh, which sounds like a terrible movie.
It has Keanu Reeves in it, and he gets like, he gets not abducted, but he gets forced to have sex with these two girls. One of them being the hologram girl, and I thought she was. First of all, she gets nude in that movie, hot. But I thought she was really bad in it. So when I heard she was cast in this, I was like, why? Like she was only in that one movie, but she was really good.
She was really good.
And I I thought that relationship was really, really kind of adorable.
It was, but
and sad.
When you think about it, it's so fake.
Yeah, it is. But one thing I want to say is that it reminded me. You ever saw that movie Her?
No.
With Scarlett Johansson, she plays like the AI, and Joaquin Phoenix. You should see it though if you like this. How it's presented in this movie. That's a whole movie about that, and it's really good. That's one.
I like those kind of movies like Ex Machina, where it's kind of like a Is that who made that? Her Spike Jonze?
Spike Jonze, yeah.
Okay, I put that on watch list.
Yeah, from Jackass fame.
Yeah. That's why I had to ask.
Yep.
I was like, wait, hold on.
Spike Jonze.
No, so like I like that when AI kind of blends in with like real emotions, but but the thing is, when I watched that, it was cute, but man, I couldn't shake that in the back of my head. Where I'm like, this is all just fake.
It's fake. I mean, both of them are robots, but Ryan Gosling, if there's any humanity between the two, he's the more human, because he's physical. You know, he's actually there, and you know, the replicants are already. Like from the first movie, you see replicants can be human. That was the whole thing about Roy Batty. You didn't see the ending, but the ending with Roy Batty is one of the best scenes in any movie I've ever seen. But so that's why I'm a little upset you didn't watch the last 15 minutes, because there's a whole monologue that is so good.
I'm gonna watch it again. Like I've already, it got my interest. I don't know what it was. It's a weird instance where I watched it, got like most of the way through, just lost my interest, but I'm like, I'm gonna come back to it though.
Where's all the blades? That sucks. You thought it was a sequel.
There's always running.
Blade? You thought it was a sequel to Blade? Imagine Wesley Snipes shows up.
I thought it was a sequel to Running Man.
Oh, that makes sense. Is that the one where he rips someone's spines out? I don't know. I don't remember. That's the one on Arnold Schwarzenegger, right? I don't think.
Yeah, but I don't associate that. I read the book is one of my favorite books of all time. Yeah, I know. But I'm never gonna watch that.
Why not? I heard it's fun. I never said that's like one of.
I don't associate that with fun though.
Running Man, he runs. Get over it.
I would love for them to I forget who. Someone has the rights to The Long Walk. Do you know what that book is?
Yeah, no, isn't there? Oh no, I'm thinking of Walk to Remember. Never mind. No, what's Long Walk?
Holy fuck!
I thought you were gonna get all romantic on me. I'm like, what the fuck?
That's the opposite.
Yeah. Okay.
It's the Stephen King, because Stephen King on rolls.
Okay.
Yeah, so the Running Man is, you know what the whole concept is, obviously.
Well, Running Man, he runs. Actually, I don't know. I never saw the movie, so I don't know.
The concept is it's a utopian society, and this person's like super sickly, and like it's kind of like, okay, so it's super utopian, but like everyone's like kind of like jam packed and everything, and no one can really afford much. This guy has a wife and daughter. The wife's a prostitute to kind of make ends meet.
Okay.
The guy does his own job, but he can't. He's kind of sickly too, so he's kind of like on his way out. But his daughter catches pneumonia, so he can't afford anything. And being the weird utopian society, the shit that Stephen King comes up with, there's like a TV program that kind of everyone watches, and there's lots of game shows. So like it opens up with a game show about a bunch of fat people running on a treadmill, and the last one to have a heart attack wins.
Oh shit! Oh.
So it's like all that kind of weird stuff. And one of the games is called The Running Man, where they take like 5 people and they send out the world's best hitman after them.
Oh, okay.
And then the last one, they're all gonna die. Like the hitmen are going to kill them all, but the last one to live gets a lot of money sent to his family.
Oh, okay.
And he's like, "Well, I'm gonna die. So I'm just going to go do this thing for my family and make sure everyone's all good."
Yeah, I don't see how that could turn into an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie.
No, that's exactly why. Like, I heard there's like, oh, it's a Running Man thing. Cool. I think I watched 5 seconds of it, turned it off. No.
Well, that's the movie. I only know this because I know Arnold Schwarzenegger quotes. That's the one where he says, I'm gonna break open your stomach and rip out your goddamn spine. He says something like that.
And it sucks because the fucking character that is a sickly guy.
It's Arnold Schwarzenegger.
No, yeah.
And he yells, "I'm gonna rip out your goddamn spine."
That might have had. I have not read that book in like
that's funny.
4 years. I'm gonna reread it again soon.
Actually, if I read that book, I'd probably laugh.
You really should read that book.
I only read a couple Stephen King books.
Yeah, I mean, it depends. I know some Stephen King books are super dense. Obviously, like It.
Yeah, I didn't read that.
But Stephen King was writing underneath Richard Bachman
Richard
for this
Bachman,
book.
yeah.
But this book is super interesting where it's 100 chapters, but each chapter is like a couple pages.
Oh, okay.
So
I read The Dead Zone. Did you ever read that one?
No.
Dead Zone's a great book and movie, but the book at one point just starts to go in depth about the villain, and this is one thing. I only read 2 books of Stephen King. I cannot remember the life of me what the other one was, but I remember I read one right before Dead Zone. I forgot what it was. I don't even think I finished it. But Dead Zone, I guess Stephen King does this where when he starts talking about the villain, he just goes way too in depth with it, where it's like a good 40 pages about this one guy. And Dead Zone's not a very long book. So it's like 40 pages about this one guy so they can introduce him so the main character can go kill him or whatever. And I ain't gonna say what happens,
Stephen King has really weird ways of writing.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I can't say he does that with this. But
okay.
anyway, so what?
I'm trying to think of what that other book was I read. I read one right before it. It was like an uncommon one, I remember, like one I never heard of. And then I read Dead Zone because I watched the movie. But whatever, I'll look it up later. But
right.
All right, back to Blade Runner. This is gonna be a. Oh, okay, back to something else.
Well, so what I was gonna say, because I got to bring it back, is that so yeah, The Running Man is one of my favorite books, but it got beaten by The Long Walk, which is ultimately the same concept, where it's 100 kids just got to keep walking and they can't stop. If they stop, they get shot.
Oh, okay.
There's people just following them. If they take they get 3 strikes, they get shot. They just get shot on sight. It's a TV show.
Okay.
It's almost like the same kind of book, but just different perspective, which is kind of fun. But I forget who has the rights to that movie. I forget who. I mean, look it up eventually, but I can't wait for that to do it because I think they talk about making like super like psychedelic and kind of like weird.
Well, it would have to be because they can't sleep, right? I'm assuming. So they just start tripping out.
Right. Like
it'll be like Gerald's Game.
Yeah, like it's gonna be a super simple concept, but they're gonna elaborate kind of like on it mentally because it's just the kids like they can't stop walking. They're fucking taking shits while they're fucking walking. Yeah,
that's gonna be a hard sell.
Right, like they just can't stop, and they're falling asleep when they're fucking walking. Like
wait, is the long walk? Go ahead.
No, like it's all that stuff. Like they're seeing their friends just start their friend next to them they've been talking to like for the entire book so far just out of nowhere is like fuck like he pulled a muscle, has to stop because he can't move, and the soldiers behind him yell like, all right, strike 1, they give you 30 seconds, strike 2, and they took back and they see his friend get shot in the face.
Oh. And wait, are these kids like kids or like teenagers?
Like teenagers.
Oh, that's fine then.
Yeah.
You can market that. That's fine.
Yeah.
We watch teenagers die all the time.
I need to look it up, but someone has the rights to that movie, but man, I can't wait for that one.
Yeah, I said Gerald's Game, but wait, is Long Walk a Stephen King book?
It's Bachman writing.
Okay. Because you said it beat out Running Man, so I assumed it was from Stephen King. It just got more popular than Running Man. And it's similar.
No, for me personally.
Oh, I thought you meant like it got beat out by people.
I can't. I don't know who. I'd never look up ratings for those books, but
yeah, Stephen King's a very hit and miss from what I heard. Like some of his books.
He writes a lot though.
Oh yeah, I know. Him and what's that other guy, James Patterson. Every time I go to a food store, there's about 20 new James Patterson books. I'm like, is this guy even alive still? I know Tom Clancy's dead, but I keep seeing books where it says Tom Clancy written by some guy. I'm like,
right.
Anyway. All right, back to Blade Runner. I love this movie, by the way. So I know it sounds like ain't that a bitch? We talk about Kings. Go ahead.
This is more of a podcast. I feel like at this point.
But isn't this a bitch? I know you loved Kingsman, but Kingsman is a silly little goofy movie, and we stayed way more on track with that.
Well, like I said at the very beginning, though.
And War for the Planet.
The reason why this is harder is because it's been a few days and I didn't take any notes.
Yeah, true.
So I'm not gonna be able to come up with like the smaller details of it, but no. So we got off track talking about that. That girl,
cyber girl.
Yes, she was super awesome. One. They had the fucking coolest sex scene.
Oh yeah, that was awesome.
That was the
because I didn't know what was going on at first. I thought she was gonna let her have sex with him. But then they like synced up. I was like, oh shit.
Oh, that was so fucking cool to look at.
Yeah, it was like Pacific Rim. think about it.
Because they had like moments where like she blended in perfectly, and then like
yeah, you see her like kind of phase through and like kind of get
that
off
was
sync.
so fucking cool.
That was cool. Like
I love that too. With like the scene where they're on top of the roof.
Yeah,
where
you can see
it was
rain
cool because they were like hover handing and stuff like that.
Yeah,
they weren't touching.
Yeah, they weren't actually touching, and I like that. Like she had to sync up with the rain just so it looked like the rain was actually hitting her.
Oh man,
it was really good because they could have easily just like kind of forgot about it sometimes because that obviously would cost a lot to have a completely not digital actor. Obviously, they just put her on a green screen, but
right.
But there's gonna be a lot of times where you have to have stuff phasing through her and stuff, and there's a lot of just like little moments where you can see like someone's arm, mostly Ryan Gosling, just her arm. I mean, his arm like go through her, just little things like that. Yeah, no, I thought she was great. I did think she should have had a bigger role at times because there's times where she just shows up, and when she's always there for like not always, but like after the first hour,
I would have been fine with her being there more.
Yeah, and then when we're in spoilers, when her character goes, it's well done, and then she comes back a little bit later as a completely different version of her character. But I thought it was well done. It just felt like I kind of forgot she was there because she didn't show up that much after they started going on their adventure together.
I was watching someone else spoiler cast on this.
Yeah,
and I liked what they said where the final shot with her is so poetic.
Yeah, it's well done.
Where because what?
Oh, you mean when she says "I love you" and then she cuts it off?
Yeah, but the way they talked about it, where it was poetic in the fact that was the most cliche thing possible,
and they cut it off
because that's fake.
Yeah, it's fake.
Because she's programmed to do that, right?
Right.
She's programmed to see I'm about to die, I guess, right? So what does every fucking movie end with?
I love you.
I love you.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so good. Like, I fucking love that.
Yeah, it was good. A little sad, but it was good.
The fucking sad part to me was that fucking dog scene, dude.
Is it? Oh, you mean when he's just walking around? And...
Yeah, like the dog, like they got blown the fuck up. But then, like, the scene later, you see the dog, like the old ass dog, just like walk and see everyone else just fly away.
Yeah.
And like, well, that sucks because that was Deckard. Like, they told him like he liked to live a life alone.
Yeah, now that dog's fucked.
And he had that dog there, yeah. And now that dog's just dealing with it.
No, that dog's dead. I'm sure Deckard fed him. Now no one's there.
Well, I mean, the dog. Imagine like.
Well, there's nothing.
Okay, so here's the big flaws I see with the movie and why I didn't really. Like I said, I loved it. It's in my top 10 for sure.
Right.
But like the biggest issue I have with the movie is that for a movie so smart, Blade Runner, like the original Blade Runner, it left some ideas open, but it was a open and shut case, right? Like that's the movie.
Yeah.
It never needed a sequel.
No,
but we have a sequel. Which is cool. I'm fine with that. What I didn't like about 2049 is I feel like it opened up some plot points, but like it left them open to the fact where like, all right, so this is where a sequel's going.
Right.
And I don't like that. I when a movie is like so. And by all means, like there's some movies out there that are like one and done, but they have like, oh, that's a plot.
A little hint towards maybe there could be something else, but if there isn't something else, then this is still a good way to end it in a way.
Right, but it felt like the scene where you see all the people say they want a rebellion.
Yeah, the rebellion and
then
stuff.
And then Jared Leto's character
always talk about like the next phase of the replicants.
Like he's like I own planets and everything.
Yeah. Well, they mentioned in the first Blade Runner like space. You never see space, which I actually really like. That we always mention like off-world, where that's where it's all nice and stuff. It's like Elysium. You ever saw that movie? Where it's like off-planet, somewhere out there. There's a nice-ass looking planet that's awesome, and this sucks. Or at least that's what I assume. And I like they always mention it, but they never show it. And the same thing with Jared Leto's character, who I really liked his character. He's only in like 2 scenes, but they're long scenes and they're effective scenes.
But yeah, and it is. But I feel like we never got a conclusion to that, and I feel like But I feel like that's open for that. That's what they leave open for a sequel, which I don't necessarily care for. The movie had like, in like any sort of show where you're wrapping up the season and then like the season finale, you get the big baddie for the next season.
Right. Yeah.
it felt like that, where it's
Well,
like, oh, okay, we're almost towards the end of the movie, and now we're setting up for if there's another movie. But I feel like Blade Runner being, I mean, I'm not trying to discredit it, but it hasn't earned sequelitis yet.
yeah.
You could do that in like some fucking like you could do that in Marvel movies, you could do that in Fast and Furious, you could do
Yeah,
that
like you
in
have a
like
stinger.
they're gonna have a sequel. You're gonna see another character. That's fine. We're not 100% obviously now we're not 100% sure we're gonna get a sequel on Blade Runner.
Yeah, we're probably
So I
not.
don't
But
like I don't like they left it open to the point where like, oh, here's another thing we're exploring next time. It's like, no, don't do that. Don't.
but but
It's not.
to be fair, even though the movie is about the replicants and how they could be human and whatnot, it's still more of a personal story.
It is,
Where
which is why I didn't like that we're talking about rebellions. Like
well, but
that
that was
scene had
also background. That was almost background stuff, like side
right.
stuff, like
That's where we got. That's where we got the big reveal where
where he's not
hey,
actually the son of uh,
right,
Rachel and Deckard.
right. But the stuff around, oh man, like I don't know, like that stuff left me in a weird spot where I did not like that.
Yeah, I was okay with it because it just felt like that was the side stuff. Like that wasn't. I mean, it was important to Kay towards the end, but it wasn't his part of his, I guess, story or whatever. His story was just trying to get towards the end, trying to get Deckard to his daughter. Um, and I thought it was way more personal, and I felt like it ended it where if we don't get a sequel, I'm okay with that. Like, sure, we won't get to see the rebellion or whatever, but that was still only hinted towards. That's like the future of this world will have a rebellion at some point. You know, I didn't feel like that was leaving it off for like a sequel or whatever. I just felt like that was just something that's going to happen in this world at one time in the future.
I guess, but like I mean, I feel like that was already insinuated with the way that things are.
Yeah, it was insinuated with the first movie with Roy Batty and all these other characters where they're kind of rebelling, they want to meet their maker and extend their life and stuff. It was already kind of that's what the original was kind of about. Like we're more human.
Yeah,
You
I don't
can't
know.
treat
That
us
was
like slaves.
watching that scene after like such a smart movie, just being like, all right, this is our we're staying focused on it. It just felt so weird to be like, all right, now here's some weird like here's one scene about if that was like an ongoing thing, you know, where you hear kind of in the background,
Yeah.
I'd get it, but like I don't know that spot left me in a weird place. And then yeah, Jared Leto's character, he was super awesome, but I feel
Yeah.
like we didn't see enough of it.
I thought that was the perfect amount because Jared Leto at this point, like, it's not that he's had a lot of bad performances, but because of Suicide Squad and like a whole year of just hearing about all the crazy stuff he did on set, he sent dead rats and shit. It was nice to see a performance that was a little. It was very odd, but it was still way more grounded than the Joker, and also he didn't have enough screen time, but he left a presence. Like yeah, like they were. I always felt like he might do some shady shit in a minute. Mostly his assistant Love, that was her name.
Right, yeah.
Who's awesome in this movie, by the way.
Right.
But like he's still like every time he showed up, which was only like maybe 3 times. I think it was only 2. I think it was when he cut open the
It was
replicant, and then when he talked to
no,
Deckard.
I think it was one more before that
I think
too.
there was one other too, but those 2 scenes are great, especially with Deckard. That whole scene was great, especially
That
if
scene
you're a
and
huge fan of the original movie.
Yeah. So the spoiler cast I was watching talked about that too, where like that was probably the most well done like
Yeah,
CGI like of like
Yeah.
someone from back then. But like man, I love the payoff to that scene where
he just shoots
you know
him in the
you think they're getting Deckard, you know,
Yeah.
like you see it in his eyes, and then he just looks back, her eyes are green,
head. Yeah, it was green, and then he
and
just
just
blew her head
fucking
off.
left. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so good.
And that's one thing I'm gonna say. You got to the point where you saw the romance in the original movie.
Right.
The original
also-
romance was a little. That's the one complaint I have is that it felt.
Yeah. So that's what that actual that troll guys actually
Yeah.
talked about that afterwards. Where they're like the problem with that romance in the beginning is and one of them said that one of them was like okay, was like all right with it. The other one said that he wasn't because it felt like what do you call it when
Rushed.
it's a sign of the times.
Oh yeah, sure. It's just like he pushed a woman against the fucking wall. It's
It
like
felt
kiss me.
rapey.
Yeah, it did. That's my main problem with even like Rocky. You ever see the original Rocky? He does that to Adrian at one point, where Rocky's like this really cool character. Oh, you want to see him prevail, but there's one point where he almost rapes Adrian. I'm like, God. And I know that's weird for you because his name is Adrian, but
I didn't know Adrian was a girl.
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Oh wow! Obviously didn't see the movie, but
no.
well, Rocky's a fantastic movie, but
No, I have a lot of classics I just have not watched, and eventually I'll watch them. But
yeah, no, Adrian's a dude. He almost rapes him.
yeah, that's why you did it first for a second. I was like, huh.
Adrian is also a woman's name too.
No, I know that, but because I always heard you, Adrian.
Hey, Adrian. Yeah, that's
it's
because
hilarious.
he's hitting on this girl at a pet shop, and
That's how I hit
she's really shy. Yeah, hey, yo, Adrian, you want fuck?
What up, buddy?
I won't rape you, you know?
Jesus.
What?
Yeah, no,
He almost
that's what he
does.
said. It's a sign. It's kind of like a sign of the times.
Yeah, there's a lot of movies that do that, which is weird. But
Yeah, but like, and that didn't scream romance because like that's super rapey, man. But like,
yeah.
but in this movie, you get that there wasn't romance.
Yeah, and when they're not on screen at all because that's not the real Rachel. Even though they got the original actress to do like
Right.
they got her for a
And then they CGI'd her and everything.
They CGI'd her and stuff. And they got some facial doubles too and stuff. But
That scene must have cost fucking so much.
I felt the romance between them, and shit, she's been dead for like 30 years at this point. Like she's bones.
Right.
Yeah, she's nothing but bones. But I felt the romance in this way more than in the first movie, and you know, all we see is
cut?
we're gonna get a final cut of Blade Runner where we get to see like the real
They're
romance.
they're gonna put they're gonna put
it.
well, what's that song? The one that the sax guy
I don't know. Ooh.
Oh, Careless Whisper. They're gonna put Careless Whisper.
How's that song go
in
again?
the background. Do 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 do.
Oh, that one.
Do do do. Yeah, they remember the guy that like he always goes in the fucking public places with that saxophone.
I knew what song it was. I just wanted to sing it. But
Yeah, all they gotta do is edit that in the background of that. That's the only edit.
Or what's that song? Let's Get It On.
Or they'll play Yeah by Usher.
Back that up on the floor. Wait, that's not Usher. Who's that?
All right.
That's T-Pain, right?
Probably.
Yeah, I think that's Akon. That's Akon. That's Smack That. I don't know that song. All on the floor. How about
Yeah, like there's the romance in this movie was really good.
Yeah, both of the romances I thought, even though the other one's actually fake, I still felt it. Like I felt like even though she's programmed to do that, she did actually like him, but it was programmed. It was programmed, like I know that, but
it's still like I said, like
she was programmed to love him, but you could still tell she did actually love him.
But that's the brilliance behind the scene.
Yeah.
Is that we're thinking the exact same thing Kay's thinking, you know?
Yeah, that's
why that fucking scene that made a lot of the movie for me. Just like just the way that was so fucking well done, where it kind of like that instilled the base of like the entire movie, right? Like it compacted the entire idea of real and fake.
Yeah.
But like it showed it in like a much smaller scale, which is perfectly fine.
It also showed like that. I mean, she's not a replicant, but she's close to the same thing because she's I mean, all these replicants are fake.
It was something.
It also shows that there can be a replicant that is just programmed, and that's it. There's no human part of it. It's just programmed to do what it's supposed to do.
And it was hard too because we like after that scene we see like an ad for her, right? Just being like, hey, I'll do
she's like nude and she's like, yo, and she calls him Joe.
Right.
That's might as well be confirmation that like she's just programmed to. That's the first name she can think of.
But we're also thinking like we feel like there's a difference there, like that. It's a brilliant scene.
Yeah, and he realizes like that was just fake, and let me actually fight for something that's real,
Right.
And that's why he goes after Deckard and try to get him back to his daughter. And by the way, that whole fight scene with him and Love at the end, which is inside the I guess what
that ship thing,
the ship thing, it was super brilliant. Good. Well, he's drowned. We're in this is a spoiler discussion. He's drowning. I don't know if I'm going to title it spoiler discussion at this point because we've been all over the board. But the thumbnails and the picture is going to say spoiler discussion, so it doesn't matter. Anyway, he's drowning her, and Deckard's also drowning. So there's like a ticking clock thing going on, where it's just like he has to drown this woman really quick and then save Deckard. And it's like, I don't know, that was a really well done scene, and you could tell what's going on, and it's like chaotic.
A lot of tension.
Yeah, a lot of tension. And that's such a good action, like final action scene compared to like a Marvel movie or a DC movie where it goes on for like 20 minutes and just explosions and freaking guys with swords and guns and explosion.
It was
like,
it was good because
or like Fate of the Furious, I guess.
It's good because it's in this weird like we've been in this utopian city, right?
Yeah.
But like now we're kind of like out by water, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's more nature-esque in there. So
yeah,
that was fun.
Yeah, it covers all the ground. All right, it covers. You got the city, you got the desert, you got the ocean, you got.
And that's also another thing.
The sky.
I loved how many times the visuals even changed. Like as awesome as the visuals were.
Yeah.
We got the monotone.
Yeah.
We got fucking bright ass red with Deckard.
Yeah.
We got the city
kind of
doing
cool
doing Blade Runner stuff.
Yeah, it's got the kind of cool blue look to it.
We got the snow.
Snow, yeah, you got snow too. So you got all the elements.
Right.
Did we get fire? Where was the fire? The desert, I guess, could be the fire.
We did get the cool with Jared Leto's background.
Oh yeah, that was awesome.
Like water.
Yeah, water with the fish. He's like, that one likes to jump. Wait, what? How
you're right.
Know? Hey, you're right, bro.
I'm
blind. Fish, I think. I don't know.
I sent fish to Harrison Ford.
It was dead. Cold fish. That's actually a line from the original Blade Runner in the narration. Cold fish. He said it just like that. But
we can start wrapping it up a little bit because I think I want to talk about one more major thing after.
Right. I want to talk about. Go ahead.
I want to talk about the ending, like the very ending.
Okay, I want to talk about just a couple other scenes. Like we should have talked about this in the beginning because it is literally the first scene. Batista shows up, which if you saw Guardians of the Galaxy, he played Drax. You know, he's a wrestler. He's a
I know that he did really well.
He was really good, but there's also there's three short not animations, but there's an anime one, but there's one about his character, and then there's one about Jared Leto's character.
I haven't seen those yet.
I haven't seen them either, but I really want to because I heard Batista's really good in that short one, and it's like a 10-minute short, I think, or something like that.
Yeah.
And I heard he's really good in it, and it actually makes you really feel for his character even more in the beginning of this movie.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna watch them. I know that I keep forgetting to watch those. I'll watch those tomorrow.
Yeah, so like Batista's character is a replicant. He's a big guy, but
they made him look
a little
not Batista.
Yeah. I mean, they gave him kind of like grayish hair, even though he doesn't really have much hair. But you know, he looks older. He looks a little bit less bulky, I guess, than Batista. To be fair, we don't really see Batista that much without the Drax makeup on. So,
right.
There's only a few movies where he's actually him. But, you know, he was great in the first 10 minutes. Like, he actually delivered his lines extremely well. And it was actually a little dramatic and a little sad when you find out that, you know, he wasn't a shitty person, you know? I mean, It's not like we thought he was in the beginning, but, you know.
But now you 100% confirmation, yeah.
A whole confirmation that, yeah, he's just a good guy.
It was the Bebop guys that made
Yeah, it was. It was the director of Cowboy Bebop. Which, when I heard they were doing an anime, I was like, oh, shit, it's going to be like a series. No, you thought it was like
an anime,
because no one said it wasn't going to be, because they just announced it. I was like a month and a half ago or something like that. It was like August they announced it. I was like, oh, yeah, I can't wait to see that. And then it's out, and I'm like, oh, okay, it's just a short.
I'm glad we got it.
Yeah, I'm glad we got that. I would have loved it. Like, especially since this one's not doing well. You know how awesome it would be if they continued the story somehow in an anime directed by the guy that did Cowboy Bebop?
I feel like this is too different, and this is kind of shit that
Well, Blade Runner, what's the word I'm looking for? Shit. I can't think of words. I can't do this anymore. I can't fucking do this. But no, inspired, there you go. Inspired a bunch of animes like Akira and
yeah, no. I feel like
and Ghost in the Shell and
right.
Even The Matrix, which I know is not anime, but you know. Yeah, well, it got turned into an anime.
We did go Ghost in the Shell this year.
Yeah, we did, and it was when it comes to the visuals, it looked great, but it was not this.
I'm gonna watch. I think my Redbox got it. I might just rent a bunch of movies. 'Cause I think I got that.
Man,
I got Gifted in there.
This made me realize how much of a ripoff Ghost in the Shell is. Like Ghost in the Shell, like I'm talking about the anime. The animated movie at least, is a straight up ripoff of Blade Runner. Like it deals with the same fucking thing.
Yeah,
the city itself looks exactly the same, except it's a cartoon. Like you have these like big 3D models of stuff, which you don't see that in the original Blade Runner, to be fair. So I guess, but so maybe, actually, Maybe this Blade Runner ripped off Ghost in the Shell a little bit. Oh shit. Uh-oh. I'm in a conundrum. I don't know what ripped off what now.
Well,
I know that's
the
fair.
Manga.
Though.
The manga is actually kind of old, but
well, it's not old.
It's got similar. It's got similar ideas, but I think they're a little different enough that we can differentiate them off.
Yeah, sure. But Ghost in the Shell, the manga's not older than Blade Runner. I think it came out like late '80s, isn't it?
I'll look it up really quick. Go ahead.
Oh, I hope it didn't, because then there goes my fucking argument. But yeah, no. There's a lot of stuff in the original anime for Blade Runner that really, I mean, it really does take from Blade Runner, and that's fine. I like when something takes from something else, but then makes it its own. You know?
Yeah,
because then we have something that is good. 1989, yeah, and Blade Runner came out in '82, so there you go. And it took a lot of inspiration. I don't know if the manga did, but the animated movie definitely did. Especially with its story, where it's like, are you human? Are you not human?
No, that's what the manga is.
Oh yeah, the manga. Well, the manga and the anime do the same thing, where it's just like, oh, is whatever. Point is, it took a lot from Blade Runner.
Right.
But and so did Akira with the way the city looked. See, I forgot my point now. I liked it. Because it shows good stuff.
Any other scenes you want to talk about?
But I thought Ryan Gosling was great.
Great, yeah.
I do want to talk a little bit more about that Jared Leto and Harrison Ford scene. Just the way like he mentions like, because there's a huge debate about Deckard being a replicant.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
He talks about maybe he's kind of like saying maybe Tyrell did a thing where he programmed Rachel to love you, and maybe he kind of hints to this. Maybe both of you were programmed to love each other just so you can have this kind of this. Maybe
you guys were programmed to create this moment.
Yeah, to see if two replicants can have a child. So it was just a big experiment. Like Tyrell in the original movie does mention that Rachel is an experiment, but I guess that could also mean that Harrison Ford is part of that experiment, and all of his memories before that were bullshit. That would also explain why he sucks at his job in the original movie. So, because he's awful at times. Like he gets caught all the time. He gets his ass beaten.
Yeah, right. Like for a guy called Blade Runner, he's fucking getting his ass beat right away.
His name's Blade Runner. His name's John Blade Runner.
But that also, you could also bring that back to the fact that maybe he's just second guessing everything, right? That's like, if someone told you right now, oh, you're a replicant, right? Yeah. You would be questioning all your memories, because I mean, you can't see yourself. You don't know if all those were like,
if that was real.
That's a cool concept, right?
That is a really cool concept. Unless you have a memory of you looking in a mirror, then scandal.
Was there anything else?
No, that was a great scene. Everything was great. Everything's perfect. I love everything. No, I can't think of anything else really.
I will say the last thing I want to talk about. Do you want to talk about the ending? I got one last thing I want to talk about.
Yeah, let's talk about the ending. The ending I
thought it was well done.
It was very well done. I know there were some people that were just like, is that it, really? Not in my theater, but there was people that were really upset that it just ended like that. Like they thought they were going to get some big either action scene or some big reveal or something like that. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, it ended kind of like... It ended with a whimper, but I like that.
But it was a good whimper.
Yeah, like
it was kind of like how the original ended.
It was superhuman.
I like that. The original movie didn't end with like some big thing, like some big fist fight between him and Roy Batty or whatever. It ended with just like, all right, that's it. Bye. Like that's, and this ended with a really nice scene, I thought, like, because you see, I don't know if Officer K was getting, like, he was dying. I think it's insinuated that he was gonna die, and I think that he's dead. And his job is done. He did what he had to do. You know, he didn't have much relevance to much that was going on, like he thought he did, because he thought he was the son of Rachel and Deckard. But you know, he did his job. He did the right thing. So you know, his arc is complete. He had a great arc.
He did,
and that was really well done. I was worried about his character before I saw the movie, just like how they're gonna make him interesting. And
I was kind of hoping they would have some cool thing with what they call the hologram.
Joy. That was just what it was called, Joy.
Yeah, I kind of wish that we kind of had some weird like where he saw her next to her or something, or some, yeah, like that.
I think that would have been a little too.
It would have been a little bit too cliche, but again, like
And
I
also,
kind of
I
like
think
the
at that point he knew that that wasn't real. So I
yeah,
think that was the whole point of showing her again naked and giant and stuff.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, we did have that too.
Yeah, I think that was the point of that scene was to
Right,
show,
right,
like,
okay, yeah.
that wasn't real. Let me do something that is real.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, but
I
get
I like that concept, but like, yeah, no, that makes sense. I totally forgot about that scene already.
Yeah.
That was a good scene.
It was a good scene.
Yeah, no, I thought that was a nice humanistic tone to end the movie on.
Yeah, so the ending is like him just like snow is falling, which actually that's a complaint I have. Like I feel like a lot of times, like even War for Planet Apes does that, where I'm not gonna spoil it, but something happens at the end, and then it's like all nice weather, like a new day rises. It's all, but there's some tragedy a little bit, And they do the same thing here where Kay is dying slowly, but it's snowing, it's beautiful, and that's the last thing you see. He's like, it's snowing. I don't know. I feel like that's way too on the nose, but it's still a nice scene either way. And then we get to see Rick Deckard and his daughter. You find out is the memory maker halfway through the movie, which makes sense. It could only be one of two people, either Kay or her, and it ended up being her. And I thought that was a great way to end it with him smiling. It just like cuts to black.
Right. I like how Blade Runner still ended up being a Deckard story.
By the way, similar ending to Edge of Tomorrow. He walks up to see. You don't. All right, the ending of Edge of Tomorrow. He's walking up to. It's not his daughter, but it's Emily Blunt's character. He walks up, and then Emily Blunt says something, and then he smirks, and it goes to black.
Yep.
Okay. I don't know why I felt like I needed him. That just reminded me of that. Except Edge of Tomorrow was more like I got a story to tell you, girl, and this is more like oh shit, my daughter. My daughter.
Last thing, and we'll end it. So when I went into this movie, I was thinking like Mad Max for a second, where maybe it's a movie that I don't need to see anything before.
Right.
And I think, it holds up on its own. I think.
Yeah.
You don't get the payoff. You don't get the payoff that obviously everyone else has.
Yeah.
But I think it does stand up on its own. However, I was thinking about it because my sister was like, I kind of want to watch the movie now, or the original. I was like, I would love to see how people would interpret it if they went back to the other one as a prequel.
Yeah, I heard a lot of people say that. Like, that would be interesting. The only thing I have a problem with that is I think it would not ruin, but it would lessen the experience, the first experience you had with Blade Runner 2049, because I think there's a lot of scenes in this movie that's just like not make you like emotional or anything, but if you love that first movie and you watched it and you loved it and you really got into the characters or whatnot, when they mention stuff like about Rachel and Deckard's character, and when Deckard shows up, I feel like that's a really good moment, like to have if you're a big fan of the original movie. Like, oh, there he is, and then Rachel, right. He mentions Rachel, and he gets a little misty eyed and stuff, and then. I mean, you might not feel for the character, but you get that a little bit of a nostalgia feeling because you
right.
love that original movie. So I don't know. I think there's a little bit lost because you watch this and then you see the first movie and then you're like, oh, that's why that and that and that. Also, it could also spoil the original movie. Like, that Rachel and him, like not survive, but they fall in love and whatnot, whatever. But
quote unquote.
Yeah. Well, supposedly. But you know what? That's one thing I love about this movie is that if that's true, that it was just programmed, that it kind of fixes the original movie. Why you felt like it wasn't really a romance, like it was just like kind of like a forced thing to have a romance in the movie. Then it kind of fixes that in a way, because if they're just programmed to love each other, then they just do.
Yeah.
So it kind of actually, in a way, fixes that movie a little bit. If that's true, though. If it's not, then whatever. But if it's not, I guess we'll never find out because we'll never get a sequel. We'll never get a 2050, so it doesn't matter.
I'm sure it'll have legs in other places.
I hope so. But, like, look at Edge of Tomorrow. Edge of Tomorrow cost more than this movie and did worse than this movie in America in its first weekend. And we're getting a sequel with the worst title ever. But
what is it again?
Live, Die, Repeat, and Repeat. This is called.
Man, they have... I don't know what it is with Edge of Tomorrow, but man, they have the worst time. So the book is All You Need Is Kill.
I like that title. I don't give a fuck. Because that explains it.
That movie. No. That.
All right. Oh
that
man, I'm getting. Oh my god. Oh, we're losing. Well, all I need is kill. All right, I'll start over. Yeah, it's not like they'll say that in the movie.
And then Edge of Tomorrow, which I also don't think is not a good.
Edge of Tomorrow is a horrible generic title. I mean, it makes sense. You know, he's so close to the next day, so he dies, so he goes back.
And Live, Die, Repeat is a better title,
That's
but man, Live, Die, and Repeat is.
Well, they should just call the sequel Live, Die, Repeat, because the original movie is still called Edge of Tomorrow. You could try to add that Live, Die, Repeat shit as much as you want, but people saw it in theaters around the world as Edge of Tomorrow. So
Who thought of that title? That
they should have. Yeah,
terrible.
that's a terrible. But they should just call the sequel Live, Die, Repeat, not and repeat. The fuck.
Well, because they try to change titles, so remember that.
I know, yeah, that's what I'm saying. But people still remember as Edge of Tomorrow. So if they just call the next one Live, Die, and Repeat. Or
I think they fucked themselves over by trying to do that.
Live, Die, Repeat is a way better.
They should have just fucking owned it.
By the way, Live, Die, Repeat is the in the trailer. That's the
tagline.
The tagline. There you go.
But then they tried to just make that the name.
Yeah, it was weird.
And then
they did the same thing for Ghostbusters from last year, where they called it Ghostbusters, and then their tagline was "Answer the Call," and then when it came into Blu-ray, because no one saw it, they called it Ghostbusters Answer the Call. That was the full title, even though Answer the Call was the tagline.
Oh, that reminds me of Jumanji with all that shit they're doing now.
Welcome to the fucking jungle?
Yeah.
It should have been called that.
Okay, that's what I wanted to mention. So last thing now before we close off, we have the trailers.
Trailers! I'm so pissed. I am so fucking angry. You know why?
Why?
Because we got that Pacific Rim trailer that came out for Blade Runner. There's no way it didn't. It came out a day before Blade Runner started showing. I heard people saw the trailer for Pacific Rim at their Blade Runner screenings. Did you see the Pacific Rim trailer?
I did.
I saw it in fucking IMAX. I was like, oh yeah, this is gonna be fucking dope in IMAX.
It?
Nope.
Oh,
I didn't get. You know what I got? I got that fucking Only the Brave movie where they have to take out the fires and shit. Which I mean, it looks alright, but why? That has no business doing. I mean, being on a IMAX screen. And there's what was the other movie that has no business being on IMAX screen? Like, I mean, we got the Star Wars trailer, which makes sense. Justice League, we got that. Even though it was the first Justice League trailer, which was weird. And all these other trailers, but I was like, oh, Pacific Rim. And then they showed the last trailer. I'm like, okay, whatever. Last one's going to be Pacific Rim, right? Movie starts. I'm like, fuck you. I mean, I had a nice little IMAX. You know how the IMAX does that thing where it counts down? 10, 9.
Nah.
Oh, you never been to IMAX? Yeah, fuck it then. I'm not going to explain it.
I've been to IMAX. I don't think I've had that.
Okay. Well, they do like a 10. They do a countdown to like your experience is about to begin in fucking IMAX. Except they had a Blade Runner themed one. It was cool.
But also, by the way, I liked that they had the Blade Runner theme at the very end of Blade Runner 2049.
Yeah, I love that too.
That was good.
That's a great theme.
It is. So I got. Let's see. I got Thank You for Your Service. I'm so.
I got that one. I got that one too. Yeah.
I can't handle this trailer
That's
anymore.
the one. I got that in IMAX. Like, what the fuck?
Okay, so when I didn't watch as many movies, I liked American Sniper.
Yeah.
It was a good movie.
Yeah, it was a great.
But now, like watching more and more, I'm like, oh, I get what people were saying now.
Well, it felt generic a little bit.
It felt like a generic patriotic, like it's America.
Well, I felt it was more like a kind of a character study a little bit, where you just see this guy kind of deteriorate.
Well, that's why I think American Sniper was better. I need to watch. I own the fucking Blu-ray. I just never seen it since I need to watch it again because I'll see. Because yeah, it did deal with psychological stuff, but it did feel very America.
Yeah.
Which I don't know. Like, I kind of felt the same way with Stronger.
Oh, I didn't think that at all. I thought Stronger was just like he was trying to keep away the America part. Like his mom kept telling him like, "Yo, let's do Oprah and all this shit. Like, let's get you out there." And he's like, "No, man, I want to deal with it my own way." And they didn't even focus on the Boston bombing that much.
We need to have another. Really we should just have another thing next Sunday, and we just talk about some of the movies that we not spoiled.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I feel like I like Stronger. But I feel like you liked a lot more than I did.
Well, not a lot more. I mean, it's higher in my list, but remember, I have a lot of shit on my list. Like,
right.
Maybe
I was gonna go through.
I saw that before Jeepers Creepers 3. So
right. Fair.
If I saw that after Jeepers Creepers 3, that would have been the best movie of all time. But I saw it before.
Yeah.
So Jeepers Creepers 3 looked even worse in comparison.
We should, yeah. I was thinking about going on my YouTube and just doing 5-minute reviews of all these movies because I have a lot we need to talk about.
Yeah.
So I got thank you for your service. I got Geostorm.
Oh, that looks like shit.
Yeah.
But to be fair, it looks like hilarious shit.
It looks interesting.
No,
I might watch it.
Dude, that part where is it the trailer where you have that like 50-year-old Mexican dude that says like, "Hey man, you're old." I'm sorry, did I say that? Am I getting fired? Did you get that guy?
I didn't.
No, okay, fuck it then. That's part of the trailer, and I'm like, "What? You're like 50 years old. Gerard Butler is like less younger than you. What the fuck you talking?" I hated the trailer. I think it looks like shit. The first trailer was okay because it was like, what happens if the world's weather is controlled by one person? It looked
interesting, and then it got goofy.
Marry her.
So I got Darkest Hour.
That looks good. I didn't see that trailer. Yeah, you got different trailers.
Oh yeah, that is
that's the Winston Churchill movie.
It's Dunkirk sequel.
Yeah, it's Dunkirk. Yeah, so after Dunkirk, after he reads the speech that Winston Churchill wrote for the movie Dunkirk.
Right.
He came back from the grave.
I forgot about that movie and all I saw was someone pointed Dunkirk on a map, and I was like, are they putting it out in theaters again?
Yeah, Dunkirk again. It's called. It's like the Live, Die, Repeat.
Dunkirk and repeat. Yeah.
Yeah, Dunkirk and repeat. Oh,
right.
Imagine you're the character from Dunkirk, except he keeps waking up and he's back on Dunkirk, and he has to relive it over and over again. They should make that. Oh, that's what the sequel for Edge of Tomorrow should be. Dunkirk tomorrow. Dunkirk again.
I got Disaster Artist.
Dunkirk Begins. It's like Batman Begins.
I got Disaster Artist.
I didn't get that. See, you got better trailers. I think I got shitty ones, like old.
I got pretty good ones. I got Star Wars.
Yeah, I got that one too. That's like well, there's only one trailer. There's one coming out tomorrow, though, to be fair. But
I got everyone's favorite, The Commuter. I'm so fucking overseeing this goddamn trailer,
I've never seen it in theaters. Never.
I've seen it
once.
I haven't. So I've written down trailers for Kingsman, American Made, and Blade Runner, and all three of them have The Commuter in it.
Yep.
So fucking over it.
What do you mean? Him jumping out of the train doesn't look like the best thing. You know, it's funny. If I got the trailer for that before seeing Blade Runner, like seeing that shitty ass CG of him jumping out of the train, and then seeing Blade Runner where it's all beautiful and looks great, it's amazing. You know how much you bet Commuter's gonna do better than Blade Runner? I'll put a bullet in my brain. I'll fucking do it. I'll put a blade in my head and I'll run off a cliff. How about that? Fuck that.
I got Maze Runner.
The Commuter will commit suicide, or that would be my fucking name. Wait, what was it? Oh yeah, Maze Runner I got too. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
And we're way over the Maze Runner at this point. Maze Runner. The last one came out 3 years ago.
But it looks cool. But I mean, I'm not gonna watch it.
I like the first one's actually really good. The second one is okay. It has moments. But the thing is that like those were like a year apart from each other. And this one's like 3 years after the last movie. And the reason why is because the star got into like a big accident or whatever, and he was all fucked up. So they had to postpone it. But I don't really give a shit. It comes out January, which is never a good time to release your movie, because that's when Hollywood takes a shit. So like that, and then February there's some shitty ones, but then there's some good ones too. But January is always a shit month. But and
then I got Pacific Rim.
Good for you.
That was a good time.
That would have been awesome.
I would have. You know what? I would have been so upset because I didn't watch that trailer specifically because I was waiting to watch it in Blade Runner.
I would have been upset too, but I'm glad I did.
Yeah, I would have been so. That would have bothered me the entire movie not saying that because I was so excited for that. That fucking trailer is goddamn great.
It's awesome.
I love the song they used in the fucking during it too.
Yeah, what was the song too? I forgot what it was.
Oh, I forget the name of it.
Yeah, I've heard.
I was gonna look it up too, but yeah, goddamn, that fucking trailer is so good.
Yeah, it is good.
And then I got Ready Player One.
I didn't get that either. See, I got the first Justice League trailer. I got Only the Brave, it looks fine. But
it's not something you should be seeing at the beginning of IMAX. So.
Yeah, like especially since the fire effects are pretty
Ready
terrible.
Player One, Pacific Rim, Maze Runner, Star Wars.
Yeah, I got Star Wars and I got the first trailer for Justice League. Not even the last trailer that came out. Definitely not the new one that just came out, obviously, because it wasn't out yet. But I don't know what the fuck. My Regal was just like, fuck it, just put the old trailer reel in. Who cares? Just crank the sound. It's not even in IMAX, really. Just crank it up. No one will notice. I don't know. It's
crank it up.
crank up the sound. They didn't have their IMAX trailer reel, so they're like, fuck it, just turn up the sound. Make it really big. They won't notice. They're stupid anyway. That's why they're watching Blade Runner.
All these idiots watching their fucking dumb movie.
Stupid Han Solo movie. Fucking idiot. La La Land shit.
La La Land shit.
Yeah, good. Ryan Gosling. I'm pissed he didn't dance.
Since this is out now, what's your most anticipated for this year now? I'm guessing it's...
no. If you're going to say Star Wars.
No.
Oh, okay.
I always forget the goddamn name. Literally,
Shape of Water?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably my most anticipated. That, Disaster Artist, I can't wait. That looks... I heard that's great. But, I'm looking forward to Star Wars quite a bit. I'm a little Star Wars out. I'm not going to lie.
I'm not going to watch it.
I know you're not. But you're only going to watch the ones that don't matter. The side ones, right? You saw Rogue One. So.
Rogue One was great.
I know. No, I love Rogue One. I know a lot of people didn't, but
I don't know. The issue I have with Star Wars now is that now I hear that all these movies are following the same path as the original trilogy.
Oh, okay.
And
wait, the prequel trilogy, you mean? Yeah. What do you mean?
There's only 3 other Star Wars movies.
Oh yeah, you're right. Prequels don't exist. I forgot.
I hear they're following that same path, and I feel like I would be like, oh, maybe they're different. But after all the news of like them outing directors and everything, because I imagine Disney's having a hard time like letting directors do a lot of crazy things with the franchise.
Yeah.
So I imagine that they're like trying to keep to the same path, and I'm just not feeling that, especially after Blade Runner, which literally like Blade Runner is like the way you do a fucking sequel all these years later, where it brings something new to the table.
Yeah.
And it doesn't. It rehashes the old like ideas, but doesn't fucking follow the same formula.
Yeah, that's the problem with. Of course, everybody knows that's the problem with Force Awakens.
That's funny because when Force Awakens came out, everyone fucking loved it.
Yeah, but, like, I still love it. I'm fine with it being the same. They needed that is the thing. They needed it to be similar.
You couldn't be too experimental with the comeback.
Yeah.
But I feel like as time goes on, more and more people just don't like it.
This one coming up needs to be different.
If it's not, then like
if it's just Empire Strikes Back, then
which it sounds like it, right?
No, not exactly.
No, some people were saying that it sounded like, or what was it? Ryan Johnson was saying that he's not afraid to retell stories. Wasn't he saying that?
Fuck.
Oh, you don't remember that?
No, I didn't hear that. Why would Ryan Johnson say that? I feel like he tells all these original stories. Why the fuck would he say like I'm going to retell? Fuck it. It's a paycheck. I don't care.
Vamp for a second. Let me see if I can find the article, and then we'll end it right there.
Yeah, I really don't feel like Ryan Johnson would be like that. Why would he say that? I feel like he was forced to say that because he tells all these original stories like Looper and Brick and what other movies did he do? Oh, right, Looper, Brick. What was the other movies he did? I know he did one other one.
First off, he didn't write the story treatment.
Oh, well then why is he even talking? He should shut up. He didn't write the story? Oh, it was probably Lawrence Kasdan. It was Lawrence Kasdan, right? He does. He did the first 3 and he did the last one, so I assume so.
Javaro?
No, I don't know who the fuck.
No, that might be wrong.
No, that's fine. I don't care.
No, I swear there was a story where he was saying that he's not afraid to
retell the same fucking story again.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. I mean, I'm still excited, but if that trailer that comes out tomorrow looks like Empire Strikes Back, I'll be like, oh no. I really wish they wouldn't release another trailer. That would have been so awesome. They're like, one trailer, that's good enough. You're all going to see it anyway. Who gives a shit? We're not going to spoil the movie for you. But I guess they're releasing their one.
Yeah, I can't find it because I'm not phrasing it correctly. But I swear that was a story because, yeah, that popped up on the news. Like, yeah, that was something he was saying. And I remember everyone was like,
uh-oh. But like, all right, what else do you remember what other movies he did? He did Looper, he did Brick. What was I know he did another movie, I think.
All I fucking know is I had my full faith in that man after fucking The Fly and Ozymandias.
Oh, yeah, there you go. He did, yeah, there you go. He did the Fly episode for
And Ozymandias.
Yeah, but the Fly episode's my favorite.
Yeah, but it's a fantastic episode. But everyone loves Ozymandias for right reasons because that's the climax of Breaking Bad.
Yeah, I know.
Did you hear what he said to
Brothers Bloom is the other movie he did. All right.
Guillermo del Toro? Guillermo?
What did he say to Guillermo?
Guillermo?
Gamero. What did he say to him?
Guillotine del Toro.
Guillotine del Taco. What did he say to him? Isn't Del Taco an actual?
Yeah.
Swish.
Because I guess he wanted to direct that episode because that episode of Breaking Bad, everyone wanted to direct it.
Yeah.
And he was in the running for it.
I wanted to direct it.
Ryan Johnson got it, and he said to him, "No, I'm the one that gets to fuck the prom queen."
Oh shit. Oh, yeah. No bukkake here. You should say that.
No bukkake here. No, the Ryan Johnson story.
No more Guillermo. Get out of here.
Valerio.
Gallery. Get out of here before I beat your ass. Hellboy bitch. Blade 2 bitch. Smacked his ass. And it jiggled like the Shape of Water. Oh, there we go. Swish. Alright, I'm done. I watched too much Rick and Morty.
I'm so upset because I know this was a story of Empire Strikes Back, right? It's the
second movie, yes. That's the that's the second episode. There's no
the fifth. Right?
No, it's the second. There's no other ones. No, it's the fifth one. Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Hold on. Oh wait, no, it
was Guillermo that said it.
Golorio.
Oreo said it. I call everybody Oreo. Who's the other guy I call Oreo? That's for a Game of Thrones guy. I forgot his name. Oreo. Anyway.
Okay, so people were saying that there's a lot of structural parallels. And he said, I did try to kind of ignore that aspect of it and have the story take the shape that it needs to. But look, Rey is off in a remote location with the Jedi Master and the Resistance in a tough spot. And we're intercutting these stories. But its very nature, there are some structural parallels. But these are new characters. They're dealing with new things. And they're ultimately doing what defines the movie. So I think that's what's going to be unique.
Fucking hell.
But then I guess he said, like a week or two later that it's not a repetition of it.
All right, well.
So we'll see. I don't know.
We'll see.
All right, that was Blade Runner talk.
That was Blade Runner. I didn't see Pacific Rim anywhere there. I didn't pay that much for the IMAX ticket, but I wanted to see that in IMAX, and I didn't. So I lied. I actually didn't see Blade Runner. I actually walked out when they didn't show Pacific Rim. So I was just making all this up as I went along.
I guessed well.
Yeah. Well, I figured because this movie's for plebs, so, master of plebs knows everything. Wait, I just dissed myself.
End it.
Fuck this movie. You think you're smarter than me, Dennis Villeneuve? Fuck you. I'll find you. I know.
You think you're smarter than me, Uwe Bolt?
Yeah, Denny Uwe Boll. Fuck you. Come fight me, you prisoner's ass bitch.